Welcome to the Daily Addictions channel. Today I'm going to be talking about 28 years later. Now, this is a horror film that I was sort of excited about. I kept it out of my mind, in my normal, I don't want to know too much about it. But I am a big fan of 28 Days Later. I became a bigger fan of 28 Weeks Later, so I started to appreciate that over time. I watched it recently, and I enjoy it. I like it, but there's a lot of flaws, and a couple of things really annoy me about it. However, 28 Days Later just seemed like a lightning in a bottle. It's budget restraints, great actors and cast, great story, the pacing as it went on. However, there's also something in that movie which annoys me, and that's the father friend who gets a droplet of blood in his eye. That was bullshit. However, still a big fan. I love the movie, what it did at the time, bringing much needed energy to the genre, different take on things maybe here and there. I think there was some talk about The Walking Dead's opening, about being in a hospital so there were some things that I read about, but I'm a big fan who is kind of caught surprised by this movie. So 28 years later is a big disappointment for me. So I'll get that out of the way. I'll go a little bit more in depth. But when I got the opportunity to see this, because I had pushed it out of my mind, I was like, oh, wow. I almost saw a trailer for that. One of those things. I try to avoid stuff. So excitement met by disappointment, and over the time it took me to get this together, I grow to dislike the movie more and more. So I know that it's directed by the same director as the first one, trying to get the magic back, or Danny Boyle, written by Alex Garland. I think the same team. And it just might be hard to catch the magic again, but this isn't even a movie that I would say, oh, it's good, it's just not for me. I think I did that recently with the Predator animated movie. This is kind of a hodgepodge of good and bad, and the bad just outweighs it for me. I will say off the bat, to try to give some credit to the movie, there are some good ideas, great acting. I wouldn't be surprised if this kid actor is like, has his own children movies and whatever. He's gonna be famous. But all around, I liked him. I liked everybody. Jodie Corner, Aaron Taylor Johnson's really good in it. Maybe not enough of those good elements that were just thrown together with some kind of bullshit stuff. So it's a mixed bag. I really didn't like the music and what they tried to do. Some of the effects worked here and there, but pretty rare. It's not even something I would put in the good column. So all I really have to go with is some good performances, and I don't even think, like, there's no great moments for me in it, but that's all the real credit I can give a movie like this, where, again, I love the first movie. I grew to really appreciate the second movie for what it did, and not knowing anything about this movie, didn't know who the directors were, anything, how it was going to connect, almost saw a trailer here and there. But, as soon as it started, I had a bad feeling, but I tried to push it away. It then kind of has an interesting section in the beginning. I get it with the father and the son. The mother's ill. Again, there might be good elements that were never fully developed or given enough weight for me to care that much. The rite of passage in the beginning, there's gonna be spoilers here, because I really don't have much good things to say except great fucking performances all around. For the most part, nothing's glaring at me right now. Although this is recently from watching it, not a lot of time to even do a deep dive on Wiki or anything. Just knowing the directors, I'm checking that. And the actor, Alfie Williams, Spike, the kid. And I think there's a couple other here and there, but again, I'm kind of sort of interested but worried about how they were implementing things, and in my opinion, god-awful imagery and old footage being spliced in. It's one thing to do it creatively, artistically. I get it. You have your own vision. Look, this is your baby. You're telling your stories. This is what you envisioned. But you can't just have a core theme and then go, oh, here's another core theme. And where does it end? And when some of them aren't core themes, but they're made to be implied as core things because you're throwing old footage up, there's so much shit being thrown in this movie where I can see it's going to get an artistic, to me it's bullshit that this movie gets any good ratings or whatever. Like I said, it's so soon, I haven't really looked into it, but I can imagine, it's great, which in my opinion it's not. Again, like I said, there's not much to like out of this movie except for some good performances, and you can connect at times with what's going on, a moment or two of, I don't know, some intense moments here and there, but in general, on the whole, it's put together bad in my opinion. So many ideas. I did look and read, they're planning to do already 2 more movies or something, but they might not do the third because unless the second one does good. In my opinion, it's not going to do good. This movie's not holding up. It's not going to get a cult following, in my opinion, enough. It reminds me of like a Zack Snyder fucking Army of the Dead type movie. At times so amateur, but you can't get that charm of the first one where there were scenes where you're using low quality or a certain type of camera and you're getting a grittiness. 28 weeks later, you can't recreate it, but what do you do? Here it's like, I want to put this artistic flair, but it's got to have a meaning and a theme, and we're going to keep beating you over the head with it. It's fucking stupid, in my opinion. You can do it once, twice, just to make a point, and it just, again, a lot of things can be compounded when you're not in a good headspace, because even though the first part of the movie with the father and the son and they're, going out to become a man, his age, they even make a thing about him being 12 is a little too young, I think. But the father, you're going to bring him out, the mother's sick, and you're not developing it enough where I care that the father's cheating and the fucking kid finds out. And while they were out, they see a fire and there's a fucking doctor. This movie takes too many turns with too many, messages stuck in there, trying to, constantly feed you bullshit, mixed in with a good scenery here or there, good setup and layout or whatever you want to call it, cinematography. It's not enough. Because as soon as the kid gets back and he's talking and he finds out about the doctor, he takes his fucking mom out past this guard gate into the mainland with the fucking rage zombies. And it's just such a shitty, for me, setup. Unbelievable bullshit nonsense type thing that you might as well do a, Zack Snyder type fucking spoof thing. And then, so there is a fucking comedy character that sort of jumps in. Some patrolling Swedish Navy SEAL or whatever the fucking army guy, Navy, and him and his guys get fucking crashed, and they get cornered in this little ravine type thing. I don't know what the fuck it is. Automatic weapons, and how could any of them have gotten killed? It just looks stupid. Again, at times it looks so amateurish, and I do know about them using like iPhones to film the movie and crazy rigs or something like that. I didn't do anything of a deep dive. Just enough to get ready to prepare to do this fucking thing. So this is not a good experience for me in the end. But we get this, dragged out parts with not much going on with outfits. Like, you have to fucking input an evolved aspect. It just feels so different than what you felt it was gonna go in, and that could be just one of those, hey, you shouldn't have called it 28 years later, just do your own fucking story. But you get the impression that these things are starving and dying off, and maybe you could have continued the story that way, but no, you gotta have some fucking stupid shit, shitty music. And then the second part of the fucking movie, the father's not even in it really, because he takes the mother out into the wilderness, meets this only survivor guy, and then they fucking meet a pregnant rage zombie, and the mother does this thing. It's so bad in my opinion. Like, I don't get it. I wish I could have someone on the set who I hire just because he doesn't like what I'm doing, just so I could see someone else's point of view, because I can't see where this is something you thought was going to be super interesting, or it doesn't feel like we're taking a chance in the genre. It just felt stupid and forced. And again, the mother's character, although she's a great actress in a sense, it's just so weird, a little thin, and you got these situations showing up, and there's no even fucking way to even talk about the subject without just saying it with spoiler. But yes, the mother helps the fucking zombie chick give birth, and this fucking baby, and they're arguing about killing it. The fucking survivor guy, the son, the good actor guy, and the mom deciding, and the kid gets killed, gets his head ripped off, and it's just stupid. He's carried the fucking alpha. I can't even believe I'm saying alpha. Like, it's just doesn't seem like where this was gonna go. Again, that could be just anticipation. It's one of those, oh, I should just chalk it up to, it's not where I wanted it to go. But no, I think this is bad on so many levels. The editing, putting it together, the horrible music. You obviously wanted to tell a bigger story over 3 movies, and you just, it's all trailer bait type stuff. So they've got this fucking baby, and they got this fucking bullshit little connections of what's going on with the mom because she's sick and mentally ill. They find the doctor, and the doctor's got the bones, and that's just bone temple bullshit. Good actor, I guess, talking about the death and remembering it, and there's a whole fucking thing with that. There's such a lull and such a break from what you were experiencing, and you can see where it's going, you can see what they're trying to do, that connection, but it comes off as such bullshit to me. This fucking guy's out in the woods covering himself in iodine every fucking day. And there are other things like that, but there's just too many things that just bother the fuck out of me. And then you want me to believe that this guy, with his diagnosis of the mom having cancer, that she's gonna die soon, that they drugged the kid, the son, and like the guy comes back with her skull. It's laughable. I can't believe, like, because I've worked on some scripts. I'm not fucking in a professional way or anything, but like, there are ways you go back and forth with people on, you know, what they're coming across. Is it serving its purpose? And, you know, I just don't get it. Like, yeah, I did all this from a mom coming of age, while you're drugged, holding a baby, that you're zombie infected or not, you don't fucking know, but everybody's sure it's not because of the magic placenta. Holy fuck. Yeah, well, has she been pregnant for 28 years and it decided to come out now? Or was she a pregnant woman who got infected a day or two ago? Is the alpha the father? Like, no, you know what? Interject some footage of 1940s soldiers marching to boots and stuff. Like, fuck off. It's just too much. You know, it's kind of why I can't watch the Purge movies. Or I said in one of my comments, my friend noticed it. I said, you know, if you put like Jigsaw or Saw movies in the Purge universe, I might like kind of deal with it in a sense. But some things are just too much for me. I'd rather see superheroes in spandex wearing their underwear on the outside anyway. 28 years later culminates with the kid putting the fucking skull of his mom on the top of this bone thing. The alpha coming. Oh, by the way, all their dicks are out. They're all fucking naked. Yay, I guess. And the doctor almost gets killed, but the kid injects him because, oh, by the way, not only can the doctor cover himself in iodine every day, I guess, for 28 years, he's got medical shit that tranks alphas. The big burly beast, because you could be a fatty, chubby, whatever the fuck they're calling them, and heavy set and blobulous, and you can't barely walk, you just crawl, eating fucking, you know, again, there should have been some good insights here and good visuals, but it just comes off stupid to me. So the kid puts the skull on top, we gotta escape, they trank the fucking alpha and leave him there again. I guess, you know, maybe it'll be in a continuation, sequel. And the kid goes back to his village across the causeway, which was, I guess, a good idea type theme with a great scene in it. So there you go. When the father and son are trying to get back on the alphas, chasing them, pretty good scene. Although, you know, some things look kind of fake, but I get what they were going for, and I was immersed enough to appreciate it. This is the first beginning of the movie. I wasn't too annoyed or, you know, rolling my eyes too much, except for the footage being cut in and stuff and the god-awful music. But kid goes back, and I don't know how the fuck this kid gets to the gate, puts the baby on the gate in a basket, and then leaves. No one notices until, who knows, until the baby starts crying. So kid left a note, and he's narrating the end of the movie, cooking a fish by his own, and it just looks stupid. It doesn't feel believable or earned. As good as the actor is, everything building up to this was just bullshit to me. I see what they were going for. I can connect here and there, but as a whole enjoyment, it just didn't really hit home until the end, and then I laughed. So he's cooking his thing, and a rage zombie comes up to him. He kills it, but there's more coming. He runs to a dead end. And then he meets Jimmy from the beginning of the movie, kid who got away with the stupid beginning and the dumb priest father, my children. I fucking hated that. And lucky it almost got me back because of Aaron Taylor Johnson and this amazing kid actor in the first part with the, you know, ritual type thing and trial of manhood, which kind of at least had me in the movie. But this fucking idiot guy shows up with all his blonde friends, you know, mimicking the Power Ranger Teletubbies things. Yeah, I get it. Dressed like a guy, you know, some sort of famous guy who's like, got in trouble somehow. I don't know. But these are the Jimmies, and they come in with their flips and kung fu and parkour with their insane weapons and stuff. And I left, and I don't know why things like this annoy me so much, because I kind of felt it coming. Like, this is what you need to bookend a movie to make people feel like they've watched something amazing, and we're gonna get a Clockwork Orange type fucking movie next, or we're gonna get the Jimmys. I give no fucks. I give no fucks about your movie. It doesn't, like, I don't have that thing where it ruins anything else for me, except for like the Star Wars movies, because, born in 71, raised on Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, all that shit. These, I just, have an appreciation and a love for the first movie, what it did, what it tried to do, what its visuals were with the music. And how do you not put that music? Even I know that fucking music. You know how rare it is that you can associate a certain soundtrack, a certain theme of music with a fucking movie, and you don't fucking take advantage of that? If I missed it, I missed it. I don't know. But 28 years later ends with the stupidest, goofiest kills, and this Jimmy character saying, "You want to be my pal?" type shit. Welcome to the band. And because I did do a little bit of, what I'm doing here in the wiki, so apparently they're going to do another one, and at the end of the other one, they're going to bring Cillian Murphy back. You're out of your fucking minds, okay? You're out of your mind. I can't see Cillian Murphy looking at this and ever putting his fucking name and signing anything. The man is huge talent, sought after, and he's even owned his shitty roles and parts. Seems like a, good guy. You know what? Maybe he would do it because he's a good guy. I don't know. And then if that does good, you're going to focus on him on a third movie, apparently. I don't give a fuck. That's the only issue with a movie like this is you named it and used the franchise, quote unquote, whatever, 28 years later. Maybe my own biases and expectations, or I brought them in and I shouldn't have, and whatever. But there is an expectation of, you're in the world at least, and, you kind of have a continuation in your head. You're going to deal with it, and it's going to immerse itself. This is where, if you're interested in telling more, I don't care. So there's no excitement for me. There's no, Cillian Murphy's coming back. Like, you'd have to did that in this movie to at least, you know what? No, having him at the end, maybe he's part of the Jimmys. I don't know. Because I think his name was Jim. I don't want to ruin that aspect of it. I don't mind telling stories in the world and expanding everything. I don't even mind you want to fucking devalue your franchise or whatever by making alphas and evolving. And I get you want to tell a story about how it would adapt and what the social ramifications are with societies going backwards. And yeah, I get it. It's just too much heavy-handed bullshit on a non-interesting story that had elements that were acted the fuck out of. I'll still give it credit for that. Even Aaron Taylor Johnson, his fucking accent, whatever the fuck, it worked for me. There were times I was interested in the connection between the mom, the kid, and the husband and the father. Again, not enough with the community, and I don't care if you're just doing little things, and I really don't care about the doctor, as good as an actor as he was, and the fucking bones and his death thing and his fucking bullshit, because it just doesn't help me enjoy the journey. what are we gonna do? Catch the original Jim from the first movie going to a new market or something like that, and he has to talk about his fucking girlfriend and the kid and how they got eaten or whatever. Like, you know, this fucking movie doesn't do it for me. It doesn't fill anything that really felt that it needed to continue. Like, I kind of understood 28 weeks later and what they were trying to say and what the danger was and where we were escalating to. You know, we've got now a quarantined UK type situation and people living in outside communities. How does it affect them? But you've got like 11 fucking things you're trying to say with bad fucking music. The pacing is all over the place. The themes and tone of the movie is so fucking bonkers. I don't think it works, especially that fucking ending. I don't care about the character and his fucking kung fu sidekicks, the Jimmies, whatever the fuck they are. I don't care about the amazing child actor, Alfie, whatever the fuck his name is, and where his journey would go. You got to get me somewhat interested in it. And I think you broke it up too much that it lost its value in places where, again, you know, okay, I could point out that father-son bond and the anger, and even when he hit the kid, and understanding what's going on with the mom and her flipping out. Can't, you know, I get it. But it never delved deep enough for things that were interesting to me, that would develop into things that didn't just make me roll my eyes constantly. I don't need to see the fucking archive footage of fucking archers and people marching, and it just didn't fit right. It didn't feel like it was part of it. It just felt like stamped on things that would just pull you out. And, you know, again, I try to say sometimes when I start these, like, what my mindset might have been. This was a little interest and excitement. I don't feel like I'm super burned out on things zombie-like or adjacent, although there are things I just outright just, like, it was a struggle to get to season 6 of Walking Dead, and I didn't give a fuck. So there are things like that, but, you know, gave World War Z a shot. Don't like that fucking movie. But again, I've done a gushing review of A Train to Busan. This movie has some elements, some things that connect, that you resonate with, that might even be somewhat interesting on going backwards, like the 50s, and kid doesn't know what an iPhone is. That idea that the outside world has been progressing, like it's been contained, but you don't know it. You just are growing up in a world that is, you know, living off, you know, trees and fucking bicycle. Like, I'm surprised they weren't sticking like little metal things into peaches and plums or whatever the fuck, potatoes. You get the gist, and I got it. And again, some visuals, but they're not enough for me to gush over. Some shitty things, like, why would you have this guy's eyes glow red? It clearly looks fucking terrible. And that element is all over the movie for me, where it's feels amateurish, but not in the clever, we got to make the best movie we can movie that the first did. It just doesn't feel like it came together enough. That there's too many things they tried to say, just didn't execute it well at all. The only thing I could see this movie getting praised for is this fucking acting. Got to give credit to that kid actor. I got to look again because it's a disappointment to even try to fucking shit on a movie, but Alfie Williams, Jodie Corner, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ralph Fiennes. I don't know who he is. I think he was a Harry Potter villain, Voldemort maybe. But like I said, this is a huge disappointment. It doesn't feel riveting enough or its own story that I'm compelled to continue on. I felt things in here were just way too way too out there to keep me invested enough. It just doesn't feel like I'm building up to something that I'm caring about. Something's a little too predictable, but there's no way to predict this goofy fucking stupid ending of this movie. I don't see the charm in it, which I guess people are gonna like things. There's nothing wrong with that. I get it, but there's no way I am on the side of anybody like this is a great movie or it's critically. No, it's gonna be something you like or something, but I'm not getting behind this fucking movie earning, whatever. I can't see it. I don't even think that in this day and age, a movie like this will even get by anymore with, I guess I call it nonsense or whatever. It doesn't work that much anymore, especially with after COVID and movie sales and ticket prices and releasing at home and streaming, and you still got this middle ground right now. I just don't see movies like this, even if they get the fake hype or I'm wrong and it's earned hype. Fine, I get it. This is just a miss for me. I'm off the mark, but not something I cared about. And like I said, I watched the recent second one recently. I've watched the first one almost all the time, but I don't even remember when I got the opportunity to see this going, ooh, are they going to do like, it didn't even, I was just an open blank slate for this movie. Like I didn't make connections in my mind. Although I think I might have wondered if Cillian Murphy was going to be in it. I did have maybe it's because of that fucking image that has been debunked, I guess you can say. But in any case, this movie wraps up with the stupidest, goofiest shit that I'm supposed to be interested in for the next movie, and I'm not. I don't care how talented this fucking Alfie Williams is. You're just not getting me to watch another fucking movie like that. And I'm not saying I'm not going to watch it and see it, but there's a balance between, are you spending money to go have a shitty fucking experience, or you just going to wait, watch it streaming? And, any environment I wish would add to the enjoyment. Because I can say, oh yeah, I had a great time because I was with so and so and so and so, and we had a great time. But I can't say that as a movie in 28 days later, 28 weeks later, this is a huge drop off, disappointment for me. It feels like too many messages and themes and things that you're trying to fucking hammer into people. I don't care how smart you think you are. I don't know, is pretentious the right word? Maybe describe it as it's up its own ass. It's one of those things you hear like reviewers talk about. Good. Make your money back. Look, anything that helps make horror movies, and I don't even consider this a horror movie. There's not enough of that in here, but I know it is. It's just never enough that it's feels like anything is earned and well done, except for the one scene where the alpha's chasing the father and son, and they're trying to go over the causeway in the water, and you see the stars, and yes, I know why you can see the stars. Okay, all right. I think I'm gonna start ending that here because this is a disappointment, and this isn't even one of those things where I had time to like sketch out all ideas and go through it. I'd probably have to maybe see if I can watch it, online again. Yeah, it just doesn't feel worth it to me, and not fun. I don't know what I would go back and watch this for. I don't know why I would continue watching it. Except, fine, Cillian Murphy, you're amazing, and I probably watch it just because you're fucking in it, like Luke was at the end of the movie. You'll show up at the end and, whatever, toss a Twinkie or something. Oh, that's Zombieland. I don't see the interest in the hype of this movie. I don't care for where it's going. Not even the good elements of this movie, and there are some, fine. It feels like it just shit on them and just tainted everything. It just didn't feel enough of these moments and messages really got through to me in a way where I thought they were, earned or really felt, resonate with. I don't know how you resonate with going to bring your mom out, finding out she has a terminal disease, getting dart gunned, blow gunned, and then you're tripping balls with a baby in your arm. No, he must have different dosages or something, because he fucking hits this alpha, quote, for alpha, with this blow dart, and it stops in its tracks and it's like sleeping on its feet. Just, its head lolling back and forth. I don't know if he hit the kid with the same thing, but the kid should be in a coma for like months. But fine, he hits him with a less dosage one. He's tripping balls with the baby in his arm, and this fucking mom is getting burned, and he's cleaning. The doctor's cleaning the skull. I'm supposed to fucking care. Like, I'm supposed to be like, wow, what a message about death and accepting and moving on, and you're fucking crazy. It was so stupid. The kid's gotta climb up and his fucking music's playing. Fuck off. I put my mom's skull on the head, and then I'm gonna face this sunrise with the skull, and so we can both see the sunrise. You're supposed to be like, oh my god, it's teared up, this is fucking amazing, but I'm like, you're fucking crazy. This is dumb and stupid. There's a 12-year-old boy who doesn't know anything about the outside world. He's got a fucking baby who he watched his mother help this zombie woman give birth. He's seen alpha zombies almost kill him. It doesn't feel like his progression is, even logical or makes sense. And who knows, maybe it's not supposed to make sense because the kid is amazing as an actor, but oh my god, I don't give a fuck. You crazy. I don't give a fuck about the skulls and the bones and what his fucking deal is. Right? I don't care. I'm not gonna go searching through history books and stuff to find out your stupid fucking marching things and the poem, and like, no. Have those as elements that just kind of give a flavor to the fucking movie. You can't have all of that in this movie. And that's what it all felt like over and over again. So there you go. 28 years later, major disappointment for me. I don't even think it's a good movie. So it's not even one of those, good for good. Does things good for the horror genre. I'm happy for it. Everything doesn't have to be for me. You have a vision, you got your things you wanted to do, you did it. Good for you. But this is not for me. Disappointment and a miss. Some stupid shit happens in this movie. Anyway, that'll be it. 28 years later. Watch it at your own risk, I guess. I hope everybody's doing well. My best to you and yours. Take care.